Welcome back, everybody, to Prowler Racing League season number 6, round 7. After our break, we are at the Temple of Speed at Monza tonight. Looking like we got 11 drivers that could make it for tonight, so it's going to be everyone scoring points at the 11 corners, 3.599 miles, 2 DRS zones to get our drivers around. So let's head on over to our intermission screen while we're waiting for everyone to get readied up. While we wait, we will actually give everyone the calendar rundown real quick. As you can see, we're at the halfway point of our season. Monza is tonight. Next week, we're in Japan, then Brazil, Baku, Bahrain, and Singapore. But tonight, again, we are in Italy. Our championship standing so far, McLaren out in front with 203, Ferrari 126, Alpine 114, Haas 90, Aston Martin 70, Sauber 66, Mercedes 58, Racing Bulls 34, Red Bull 23, and Williams 22. Hopefully those guys in the back will get some points today, as they didn't score last time out. Those team standings brought to you by our drivers. Top 10 we're going to show here. Sasuke out in front, 117, absolutely dominating so far this season. His teammate Dynamic not here tonight, so he's not going to be able to defend against Mitch in P3, tied with Vanilla Spilla in the Ferrari. Our Season 3 champion, Some Good Salt, no longer with the league. He left early on, currently in 5th with last year's champion, Zaluxi, in P6. She's not here tonight either, so she's going to be dropping down the order. Boogie in the Ferrari, P7 with 56, tying last season's champion. Looking to score some points tonight to make it ahead. Then we got F4 in the Alpine with 44, moving up to our reservist, Chris King, dropping down one position. Was supposed to be here tonight, couldn't make it, so he will not be scoring points. And then we got Inception, another one of our drivers that couldn't make it tonight, in P10 with 38, moving into our top 10 this time around. So it looks like we're going to head down to the track. Got a few cars possibly going out on track. We'll find out. But here we go. Let's head to our racetrack. Give our drivers a once through. Let's get rid of these in-game graphics. Ew. The only one we want is the track map. Once that's up, we're going to sit here and wait. Oh, looks like we got I think that was a Racing Bull heading out first. So let's head out. Pull up our leaderboard. It's going to be, it's one of the red, I think that's Ethan heading out first. It is Ethan. Ethan leading everyone out onto the track to set a time. Should be interesting to see what everyone's times are looking like. Didn't see many people really talking in the Discord about what the strategy is going to be. There's no requirement from the league this time around. It is primarily going to be down to the in-game rule of 2 dry tires during a dry race, 2 tire compounds, whether that be 1 medium, 1 hard, or 1 soft and 1 hard. Not sure. We'll see. Ethan making his way around the track. We'll get his timing up momentarily as he's heading around the final, the Parabolica. Let's pull up our timing here and watch Ethan set our first timed lap of tonight here at Monza. Long straightaway, DRS wide open to the heavy braking down to turn number 1. And the chicane into 2. That exit's going to be very critical for a lot of drivers to hit that just right. So they have the exit to head down turn 3. Full power. Looks like he's got a Aston Martin up ahead. Hopefully to give a little bit of a tow. Heading down to turn 4. Another chicane. Getting very wide there. Getting a little bit of gravel on the tires. With the Red Bull right behind of, I think that's Flo, who's one of our rookie drivers who won't be able to set a time tonight because of our rule. DRS wide open. That is Mitch up ahead, getting his tires warmed up. Ethan getting pressured from Flo as they come out of turn 10, heading down the straightaway. Mitch still warming his tires up ahead. Into the Parabolica. Getting very wide there, up on the curbs, where you see in the F1 movie where one of the cars went off into the fence. Ethan sets us off with a 1:23.333. Vanilla 1:18.599, setting us off even stronger off the rip. Let's go check another driver who's setting a lap. We are missing some of our key graphics that we use for the commentary box, so we're just going to rely on what we have on screen right now. Mitch coming through turn 4 and 5. DRS wide open, heading under the old banking. Ooh, losing out time in the middle there. Remember, Mitch and Vanilla both tied in the championship so far. Coming around the Parabolica. Fastest lap, 1:18.310 for Mitch. Looks like the other Aston Martin of Icy set a time of 1:21. See if he's going to set another time. Does not. He comes into the pits. Let's go to F4, who's out on track. Everyone else. Sasuke has not set a time yet. Invalidated. That must have been his out lap. So let's see what he does here as he comes across the line to start his timed lap. DRS is already wide open as he comes across the line. Good move there to get out of the way of Sasuke as he heavily locks up into turn 1. Very squirrely on the exit. Coming through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Onto that long back stretch, knocking a toe from anyone. It's going to rely wholly on what he's got in the tank. In the ERS, sideways through a Parabolica into the wall for Sasuke. Luckily, he's still moving. More than likely going to abandon this lap, come in for a fresh set of tires. Tough break for Sasuke into the wall. He does come to the pit. So let's go check out another driver. F4 invalidates on his time lapse, so that's going to be no good. Let's go check out Lone Fiber. Warming up his tires, coming down that long straightaway. We're coming to where Sasuke went off. Not sure what happened with Sasuke. It might have just locked up a little bit. Back end breaking loose. Lone Fiber coming through. Final corner onto the straightaway. Starts his timed lap. He's got a wide open track up ahead. Unfortunately, will not help for trying to get a toe down the back straight to Parabolica, but Fiber coming down to turn 4. Off of Mitch's time in P1. Remember, Mitch sitting with pole position of 1:18.310. 10 minutes left to go in the qualifying session. Mind you, it does show purple on the map there, but that is because Fiber has not set a time yet. So that is a best time for him. Should be green, but the game shows it as purple. We'll forgive Cody's this one time, right? Coming around the final corner, Lone Fiber putting the power down on the soft tires. Cross line P3, 1:18.880. That moves Boogie down and Anime down. So let's head out over to F4, invalidated on his previous lap. See what he's doing for ERS-wise. If he's got, no, he has no battery left. He's probably going to abandon this lap because he has nothing to help his time lap. And he does come into the pits. So the one driver we are very not concerned with per se. But we want to see what's going to happen is Sasuke, all right, back out on track on an outlap currently. Coming around the final corner, let's actually watch his telemetry as he comes across the line to start his first timed lap. 8.5 minutes left in the qualifying session. Heavy on the brakes and then feathers it away a little bit of throttle. Very clean coming through there. Recharging a lot of battery actually through that first chicane. 198, 200 miles per hour as he's coming up to turn 4. Heavy braking again. Off the accelerator and on the brakes pretty much at the same time, which is great moves there. Do the first Lesmo, second Lesmo. Back up to full throttle immediately. DRS wide open. 211, 212 miles per hour for heavy braking into turn 8. Getting a little squirrely on the entry there. A nice smooth acceleration out. Now we're coming up to the corner where he lost the back end last time out. Cleanly through. Around the final corner onto the straightaway, hugging against the wall. 1:18.263 for Sasuke. And Mitch takes it back. Mitch was falling right behind Sasuke. Not sure if he was close enough to get a toe, but he clears Sasuke by 0.2. So it looks like the only two drivers that haven't set time yet is F4 and JR. F4 blowing right through the turn 1 chicane. And validate on that one. I think that might just be doing an outlap, get the tires up to snuff. But we don't like to see that happen, but it does. So we're going to check out JR. Coming around the final corner here. I think he might be on an outlap. Let's see what the timing says as it clears. Yes, he's on outlap. So he's going to be starting his time lap here. Cross line and the timer starts. Heavy down to turn number 1. The exit for this is critical to get rotated around turn 2 because it is, you can see he gets a little squirrely there on the exit. It's going to rob him of a little bit of speed as he comes through turn 3 now. Invalidates, cuts the corner at turn 4. Tough break for JR. He's going to have to come back around. F4 still invalidated from his lap. Now starts his time lap. Let's see if he can make the braking for turn 1. Heavy locking the right side. Gets through. No corner cuts there. So he's doing good so far. We got roughly just a little bit over 5 minutes left in the qualifying session. Mitch out in front, 118.028. F4 making turn 4. Heading down to turn 6 of Lesmo 1. Stays on the track, not getting into the gravel. Lesmo 2. Exit cleanly. Passes DRS sign. Wing wide open. It's going to give an additional 12 miles per hour on the straightaway. Heading down the hill under the old banking. Into turn 8 and 9 chicane. Onto the straightaway. Some circuit information. This is 11 corners. Drivers are on full throttle 84% of the time, which is why this is the temple of speed. We're going to see very, very fast cars. F4 coming around the final corner, looking to finally set a time. P5 with a 119.100. That'll put him on the 3rd row of the starting grid. So let's go check out another driver. Not sure if improving, but we'll always check it out. Ethan not up on his time in the first sector, down on his time actually. Let's see if he can correct it as he's coming through sector 2. Gonna be in that DRS zone. Wing wide open, down the straightaway, under the old banking to heavy braking at turn 8. He's personal best in that middle sector, so he might actually be improving this lap. Let's see what he can do on the straightaway. I see him across the line setting a improved lap time. Ethan coming around the final corner. Let's see, make sure he didn't lose any time. Goes wide. Did lose time, a lot of time in that 3rd sector. Not sure if he was out of battery or what, but unfortunately lost time out. So let's go check who is out on track right now. Let's see. Jay Sims. Currently on an out lap. I believe that is Icy behind. Anime Boy exiting the pit lane. Vanilla Spilla exiting the pit lane as well. Mitch in pole position, staying in. So is Sasuke in P2. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be exiting the pit lane pretty soon because we have 2 minutes left in the qualifying session. Here comes Jay Sims in the Mercedes, making his way around the final corner. Soft tires, heading out onto track. Cross the line, starting his flying lap. Massive amount of traffic up ahead. You can see that as he's coming around turn 1 and 2. Everyone keeping very spread out for the most part up ahead. But Jay Sims looking to improve on his time, but I think that traffic up ahead is going to cause a problem. Green first sector. He actually might be far enough back that he's going to get a tow. If everyone can keep up their speed and keep going. Hopefully nobody impedes. Less than a minute left in the session. Icy retired from the session. He's not going to be going for another lap. Fiber. And the car's got away. Jay Sims says great sportsmanship. We love to see it. Jay Sims coming around the final corner. 41 seconds left in the session. Jay Sims, P8, the 120.087. Let's head up to Vanilla. Vanilla moving slow. He must have had an issue not pushing this lap. Not sure what's going on there. He might just be looking to give a tow to his teammate. There's Boogie coming around the corner there. Vanilla speeding up. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Just trying to give Boogie a bit of a tow. Anybody boys out of the session. Looks like he crashed. Camera's going a little wonky here. Not sure what's happening. Boogie getting past his teammate with the tow. Around the corner. Let's see if this improves Boogie time. Cross line up to P5, so he gains one position. Vanilla into the pits, but Sasuke right behind the track. Mitch sets another faster time, 1:17.820. Can Sasuke beat it? He's got a purple middle sector across the line. No, Sasuke with 1:18.2. Can't do it. You got Mitch out in front. See who else on anybody else is on a lap. Doesn't look like it. According to this, no, nobody's on an improved time. If anything, F4 might improve on his time. Currently sitting P6, coming around the final corner now. We'll see how he does coming across the line. But this pretty much will do it for our qualifying session. A 1:19.100 for F4 for P6. So that's going to do it for qualifying. Mitch, your pole position. Let's get a screenshot of this real quick for the record books. So Mitch out front, Sasuke P2, Vanilla P3, Fiber P4, Boogie P5, F4 in 6th, Anime Boy 7th, J Sims 8th, Icy 9th, Ethan in 10th, Flo in 11th, and JR unable to set a time. So we're going to go back to our intermission screen. Give everybody, let's do... All right, so we'll give everyone 5 minutes. So give everyone time to get their setups figured out, figure out what their tire strategies are going to be tonight. Again, with the high speed and low degradation nature of this track, should be able to do it in two stops, as we've seen with a lot of the tracks. We're not requiring or mandating any pit stops here. Four more minutes. Get everyone to get their settings correct. Again, we'll take a look here. Tonight we're at Monza. Next week we're at Suzuka at the Figure 8. Then we're in Brazil, Baku, city streets with multi-stop requirements, Bahrain, and then Singapore with multi-stop requirements. We've noticed that the multi-stop requirements of 3 to 4 required pit stops makes for very interesting races, as we saw last time out in Monaco, which was a fascinating race. Again, here are the team standings. The McLaren's going to be defending pretty hard today, but Sasuke all by himself going to be defending against both Ferraris here tonight. And then we got Alpine, Haas, Aston Martin, Sauber, Mercedes, Racing Bulls, Red Bull, and Williams. Two more minutes left until we get ready to go here at Monaco. Hopefully everyone's figured out what their strategies are, what they're going to go with. Our drivers here at PRL are very competitive, so it should be interesting. Hopefully nobody does any heroics down into turn one. We've seen a lot of races get absolutely just wrecked in the opening laps. Hopefully the stewards won't be busy tonight like they were last time at Monaco. But it is an Oprah race tonight where everyone's going to score points if they finish. One more minute left to go until we ready the field up. So let's head down to the track, or track side at least, to see the pit lane there. Everyone in the Discord being really good. I appreciate all of our drivers respecting the do not ready up too early to allow everyone to get their strategies set. Early on the season, we usually have a couple of drivers, but everyone's gotten really good about it. And we'll see tonight what one of our new rookie drivers who signed up early on the season but couldn't make the first couple races, so had to move on to reserve status. But after tonight, Flo will be able to qualify in any race that he attends going forward. Okay, the start signal has been sent to our drivers. There's the beep from the game letting us know we're ready to head to the track. So we're going to have a moment where the car is going to do a formation lap. Get the tires warmed up as best they can. Interesting decision so far from our drivers. You have Mitch in pole position starting on the mediums. Then Sasuke on the mediums as well. Vanilla, the Ferrari, also on mediums. So those guys are going to be going 15 to 17 laps on those medium tires. Then we got Lone Fiber in the Sauber deciding to go with the hard tires, 18 to 20 laps. So he's going to be down on grip at the start, but can go longer than the top three. Then we got the other Ferrari matching strategy with the Ferrari of Vanilla starting on the mediums. Then we got F4 also on the hards in the Alpine further back, holding up the field quite a bit there. Hopefully picking up the pace soon to get the tire temperatures up. Then we got Anime Boy and the Williams on the mediums. Jay Sims, the outlier in the entire field, starting the race on the softs. 12 to 14 laps expected for those tires. So he's going to have the most grip out of anyone. So either he's looking to make big moves at the start or an early safety car to get off those tires as soon as possible. Then we got in the Aston Martin. Oh, Icy and Ethan are out. They must have collided, being sent back to the start line. Then you got Flob. I'll have to talk to him in chat, figure out what she wants, Flo or Flob. We'll go Flob. Floblob. And then we got JR bring up the back. Flob on the hards, JR on the mediums. So back up to the front. We're going to go with camera on with Sasuke. As the field lines up here at Monza, we're going to pay attention to the light gantry above Sasuke, waiting for those 5 lights. Three, 4, 5 lights. It's off, and we are away here at Monza. Those M names. Coming down straightaway, everyone's going very wide, trying to make moves early on. Sasuke out in front. We got Heroes on the inside. Oh, that looks like that was... Looks like that might have been the Mercedes of Jay Sims hitting the grass. Absolutely just falling into the field there. So let's... Lone Fiber gets a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So there were yellow flags heading through that section. Lone Fiber, unfortunately, again, pegged with that penalty. Let's see here. We got Jay Sims here in the back. Let's see what he's got for damage. He does have on the left front. So unfortunately, those soft tires not helping him out early on. Gets the damage. Oh, and rear wing damage. Just saw that on there. So he's going to be struggling early on. Or for the rest of the race, I should say, with that rear wing damage. Sasuke out in front, beating Mitch to turn 1 apex. Sasuke also setting our fastest lap so far of the race. DRS is available. They won't have it here on the main straight, but they'll have it on the next lap. Then we've got Fiber getting chased down by F4, making moves. So here we are after the first lap. Melee into turn 1, which we were talking about in the Discord. No heroics into turn 1. F4 going for the move on Fiber. Race strategy showing hard, medium. So it's looking at a 2-stop strategy from the game early on. So F4 battling here against Lone Fiber. Dropping back a little bit. Track is clear. Looks like we had a yellow flag in the back there for possibly Anime Boy. Anime Boy's not moving. Oh. Car's getting a little unsettled there. I think JR is just ahead of him. Looks like those guys may have gotten together. Let's check to see what the car damage is. Yep. So Anime Boy with right front wing damage. JR with no wing damage, so he's good to go. Mitch taking the fastest lap back away from Sasuke out in front. So let's go check the closest battle right now. It's between Sasuke and Mitch going side by side through turn 1 and 2. Sasuke still out in front. F4 up to P3, getting past Lone Fiber. Lone Fiber right on that gearbox, not letting him get away. F4 taking defensive line on the inside. Fiber going to the outside, gets ahead into the chicane. Side by side out of it, heading down to Lesmo 1. Fiber backs out, but then gets right back in it. F4 remaining ahead. Both these drivers are on the hard tires. Now, mind you, Lone Fiber does have a penalty. Going to the outside, heading down turn 8. F4 lets him through. All while this fight is going on, you got Boogie right in the mix, thinking about making a move, but sticks with him in that P5 position. Anime Boy with a 3-second time penalty. Cutting the corner. Flo thinks about the move into turn 1, doesn't make it happen there. Forces F4 to lock up hard. Now, mind you, Boogie is on the medium tires behind these two, looking to collect if anything were to happen. Anime Boy with a 3-second time penalty. Let's take a look at what the penalties and warnings are right now for our drivers. So Fiber and Boogie both have 10-second penalties they will be serving during their pit stops. So right now, both of them doing their best to not lose position or time on track while they are chasing down F4 here. Lone thinking about going for a move there, doesn't do it. So Mitch out in front ahead of Sasuke as they come down to Parabolica. You can see him there just getting out of the screen while we watch this pair of 3 cars here. Lone Fiber thinking about making a move, showing, just absolutely filling the mirrors of F4. See if anything happens as we come down to turn number 1. You got the leaders fighting side by side through the chicane. Again, Fiber not going for the move there. Not going for the risky late braking into turn 1 and risking F4 coming across. I think Fiber's looking for the long game here. We're on lap 5 of 27 at Monza. Leaders out in front just chasing each other, doing DRS swaparoos. Boogie just hanging with them here. Everybody spread out. Oh, we got a stationary car. Anime Boy getting very squirrely there. Let's see if he's got any damage. It might explain why his tires are going off here. Doesn't have any damage, but look at that. Look at the wear. He's got 54% on the left rear, 44 on the right rear. So these mediums are getting cooked. Let's actually take a look at what the tire wear is for everyone in the field. I'm sorry, that was JR? That was JR. That wasn't Anime Boy. I apologize. That's JR in the Racing Bull. Just cooking those tires. 50%. So that means our drivers out in front, they're battling it out. These two, Mitch and Sasuke, both of them are just absolutely destroying those medium tires. Again, early on we were talking about tire life. The mediums they were predicting lap 5 to 17, but these guys are pushing so hard that they may be pitting much, much earlier than what the game predicts for wear. So we'll see who actually decides to come in for the pit stop first. So as it stands, let's see if Sasuke comes in now. Yeah, 11 to 14 is the lap window. So let's see if the drivers decide to continue on. They go past the pits. So right now, Mitch in P2 has the worst of the tires from our leader. So that's an average percentage. So Mitch, 42% in the front, 57 in the rear compared to Sasuke on 33 and 49. So Sasuke does have the better life. So Mitch is going to be struggling to keep with Sasuke as they head down. Let's actually see what their ERS usage is. Mitch also at disadvantage with ERS. Mitch sitting about 34, 33%, whereas Sasuke has almost 10%. Oh, getting very squirrely there on the exit for Sasuke. These tires are very worn. Mitch, his rears are now up to 61% on the rear. I would be very surprised if neither one of these guys decide to pit. We'll keep the camera on Mitch, as out of the two, he should be the one pitting first. 47 on the front, 63, 74 in the left rear, 52 in the right rear. So heavy wear on the left side of these cars due to it being a clockwise circuit. And they continue on for another lap. I believe the puncture zone is right around 80% that you're running a higher risk of puncture. So Mitch is actually right now running very raggedly close to the edge of what that'll be. Vanilla into the pits. So our first driver to make the call to pit is Vanilla, switching out to the hards from the mediums. His didn't look as bad, but now he's going to try to undercut all those in front. Flob lob, 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Again, we're going to come back up here to Mitch in P2. Does currently have the fastest lap, with the gap now growing to almost 9/10 of a second. It's currently sitting at 8:19 as they come around the final corner. Mitch is starting to lose time, and he comes into the pit. They both come into the pits. So this will be a straight-up pit stop battle to see who hits the button to get into their box more precisely. See if Mitch can get past. He cannot. There goes Sasuke. 2.3 is a decent stop. I think optimum is like 2.2. And then Boogie comes in, serving his 10-second penalty. As you can see, he's sitting there stationary. Looks like they're going to be switching to the hards as soon as that 10-second penalty is served. Yeah, you see there 2.2. And you got Icy just coming into the pits. Heading out on the hards. See what the pit lane delta is. It's going to be roughly 24 seconds. So that's what the gap's going to be when everyone else has to pit. So right now, your on-track leader, Lone Fiber, out ahead of F4, both on the hard tires. Let's take a look at what their tire wear is. F4 does have worse tire wear average across the axles. Oh, we got a stationary car. Anime Boy down in P12. Believe he has been lapped. So he is now down a lap from the leaders, getting back up to speed. So here's your leaders. Got a stationary Aston Martin as well. So that's going to be, I believe that's Icy finally getting moving. So F4 out in front now with the worst tire wear of the two drivers here. Lone Fiber making a move to the inside into turn 4 through turn 5 out onto the straightaway. Anime coming into the pits and retiring from the session. That is our first retirements of the Grand Prix. So unfortunately, the Williams team will not score points again tonight. Mitch getting a 3-second time penalty, which is great news for our championship leader, Sasuke. Vanilla with a 3-second time penalty. Looks like he might have gotten a little bit wide through Lesmos. Tough break for Vanilla picking that up. F4 deciding to come to the pits. Heavy on the brakes to slow it down to not get a speeding penalty. So it's going to take 24 seconds for him to complete this pit lane. Let's see what he can do. Sasuke fastest lap 121.220, 2.3 on the stop. So not perfectly optimum, but decent enough. Coming out onto track now, ahead of Ethan, or Vanilla. Ethan picking up a 3-second penalty. So he got a little bit wide coming out of turn number 10. Let's actually take a look at what the penalties and warnings are currently sitting at. So we got Lone Fiber, our leader, sitting at 10 seconds of penalties. We got Sasuke coming through, along with Blob and Mitch all together right now. So chances are Lone Fiber is going to pit this lap. And then our de facto leader, Sasuke, is coming around. Let's see if Fiber comes into the pit to service penalty or keeps going. He comes into the pit. So again, we'll see Lone Fiber coming in, starting his pit with the Sauber team at the end of the pit lane. Enters in. Team is going to sit there for 10 seconds while he serves that penalty. Your leader, Sasuke, going by. Flablob in P2 going by, and Mitch in P3. F4 gets past. So does Vanilla. .34. Yep. So that was an exactly normal pit stop. Optimum turn in for 2.2. But it had that 10-second penalty. So now he is racing in the clear. So we head back up to our leader, Sasuke. No penalties. And then we got in P2, Mitch, who unfortunately does have an outstanding 3-second penalty. In the turn into turn 8 and 9 there. Onto the straightaway, closing in on Sasuke, 1.4 back. Then we got Flob, also with a 3-second time penalty, currently in P3. I believe he has not pitted. So that explains why Floblob is all the way up in the top 3 right now. He has yet to pit since the start of the race. His tire wear has got to be pretty bad. Let's take a look at that. Honestly, it's not that bad for 13 laps. So pretty much right now, Floblob tire wear is pretty much within what the game was saying. So he's not really destroying these tires. I mean, he is on the hards, and that's what he started on. The hards are going to go for 18-20. So he's kind of on track right now to pit possibly around 18. Currently has 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds back to F4. So we'll actually keep a close eye. Let's see what is it? Gap behind is what we want to look at. So we're going to pull up. So 7.6, 7.5. So the gap is slowly closing in. Back to F4 for Floblob. So F4 on the newer tires, closing that gap down. Flob more than likely going to be pitting in the next few laps as he started the race on these hards. So most of our medium starters switching to the hards. So let's actually go through our running order now. Icy picks up a 3-second time penalty. So your leader and championship leader, Sasuke, let's do a little bit of a race story rundown right now. Sasuke started P2, currently in first, 1.5 seconds up ahead. No time penalties, what to speak of so far. Keeping it nice and clean. P2, your pole setter, Mitch, currently in P2, does have picked up another 3 seconds. As we were literally on board with him, he cut the corner, picked up another 3 seconds. So he has 6 seconds of penalties to his name. Fighting against Sasuke up ahead. Gap's now 1.1, not close enough for the DRS switcheroo. So next up, we're going to go to P3. Flob started P11th, now in third, making that first set of hard tires go the long distance that he can. Does have 3-second time penalty to contend with going forward. Next up, P4. F4 started in 6th, currently in 4th. No penalties to his name right now. Coming through the first couple corners, but right behind him, Vanilla Spilla in the Ferrari. Started 3rd, unfortunately dropping back down to 5th. Looked like there's an incident early on in the race, probably with that first turn kerfuffle, as it were. Having to deal with that and possible car damage. Does have a 3-second time penalty. Vanilla will have to contend with by the end of the race. Then next up, not further back, only about 6 seconds back, you've got Lone Fiber. Started the race in 4th, now in 6th. Doesn't have any penalties, currently on the medium tires for his second stint. Mind you, this is probably going to be a 2-stop race as we were only on lap 15 of 27 here at Monza. Next up, the other Ferrari of Boogie. Started in 5th, now in 7th. On the hard tires. Doing the same strategy as Vanilla. No penalties to his name, so he's keeping it clean. Boogie, well known for keeping his races as clean as possible. Last season, actually last couple seasons, even as a reserve, he kept it super clean. Jumped in any car he could when he had the time. Kept it clean. Did very well. Next up, we got Ethan in the Racing Bulls. Started 10th, currently up 8th. So moved up 2 positions since the start of the race. Unfortunately, does have 3 seconds to his name. He's channeling his inner Hedjar to get further up in the standings. Next up, the other Aston Martin, Icy, started in 9th, currently in 9th. Does have a 3-second time penalty. So far, keeping it very consistent in the race, scoring healthy points to help his team out. Then we got the Mercedes of Jay Sims. Started in 8th, currently in 10th right now. Basically doing damage limitation as he was part of that initial first lap incident on the track. Currently running P10. JR picking up, speeding in the pit lane. So he's not going to be able to serve that 10 seconds with this pit stop. He'll have to be on the next pit stop. Out he comes, 2.3 for the stop. You got Cloud right behind. A lap ahead of JR. So JR coming out into lead lap traffic. So he started 12th, currently in 11th. Does have 13 seconds of penalties. Getting the blue flag right now. Going to stay out of the way of the Ferrari. He does so. But he will have to serve 10 seconds in the next pit stop and then deal with the 3 seconds at the end of the race. And that is it for our running order of cars still out on track. Sasuke maintaining that gap back to Mitch. He's currently sitting at 1.4 seconds. 10 laps left to go in this race. Getting the toe off of the blue flag car in front of him. It looks like that's the Mercedes of Jay Sims. Jay Sims getting out of the way, allowing the McLaren through. Gap growing, 1.9 now back to Mitch. So let's go check out what the next safety car. Safety car is out. Looks like we got JR is stationary. Ethan's about to, nope. So Ethan just passed the spot where JR went off and took out the wall with his car. So we're on lap 18 of 27. So it's the entire field's gonna have to back up now. Safety car is waiting out at the exit of turn 2. So let's see who decides to take a pit stop here. Possibly could go with the softs. So we've got Sasuke coming into the pits. Mitch is into the pits. Or is your next car on the lead lap? Let's see if he decides to stay out or if he comes in. Looks like he might be coming in. He does slow down, so he's coming to the pits as well. So next car, Vanilla's coming in. Lone Fiber. See if he decides to come out. He also comes in. So, mind you, I think F4 had to serve a 10-second penalty. Fiber into the pits. Boogie into the pits. So, Ethan... So Ethan already pitted, came out on softs. Icy stayed out, but he pitted just before the safety car. He's only on a 1-lap old medium. And then Jay Sims came for medium. Unfortunately, Jay Sims getting stuck behind Sasuke. Tough break for Jay Sims. He's not going to be able to get that lap back because there's no good way to force the game to give that position back. Sasuke is offering for Jay Sims to go through. Yeah, Sasuke messaged to Jay Sims in the Discord that he can let him go through. I don't know if Jay Sims sees it. There is a way to force it. So, like, if what would happen is Sasuke would have to go so slow that it would give Jay Sims the message to overtake. But at the same time, you may have other drivers, like some other drivers might take advantage of the situation, go, oh, I'm getting the message too, and then blow right past. So without Jay Sims giving a clear message to Sasuke that he's willing to do that, Sasuke can't risk it, which is completely understandable. We We've seen it in other leagues how they do it, like basically the not going off track helps. Gotcha. I wasn't sure how. I've seen it done before, but most of the time they just slow down so much to allow them through. But I'd hate for Sasuke to pick up a cutting corner penalty or some nonsense like that just because the game's stupid. Come on, J Sims, catch up. It's too bad J Sims probably doesn't see it in the Discord. I don't think you see it either. I wouldn't risk it. You can always bring it up to him after the race, be like, dude, that's why you need to have the race chat open so you can see messages like that. Yeah, unless he gives confirmation in the Discord, I wouldn't risk it. He's just SOL. We got another lap to go, I think. So, let's go through the running order right now as we're coming around for another lap. Around the track. Again, the race story. Sasuke started P2 in P1. This one, let's do the game loss. So Sasuke keeping it clean, no penalties. Started second and first. Then we got Mitch, P2, currently sitting on 6 seconds. So Sasuke just needs to, if Mitch gets past Sasuke, he just needs to stay within 6 seconds and he'll regain the lead. Then we got in P3, F4. Started 6 in third, does have 3 seconds of penalties. Floblob, your big mover, started at P11 all the way up to 4th, does have 3 seconds to deal with. Vanilla Spilla started 3rd, unfortunately is all the way down in 5th, does have 3 seconds as well. Then we got Lone Fiber, no penalties, started 4th and 6th. Boogie, 5th to 7th, no penalties. Ethan, started 10th, all the way up to 8th now, but does have 3 seconds of penalties. Icy, 9th to the 9th, so he's breaking even, does have 3 seconds. Then Jay Sims, no penalties, he's currently sitting in P10. So we're going to go on board with Mitch, as he's going to do his best to stay with Sasuke as we restart the track. Safety car coming into the pit lane. We'll leave it nice and clear. Sasuke going for it, building the gap. F4 making a move on the outside of Mitch, but falls victim to Flob. Heavy braking down into turn number 1. Looks like mostly everybody gets through cleanly. A little bit of a kerfuffle in the back there between Vanilla and Flob. And Lone Fiber sticking right with him. Lone Fiber following Vanilla through. Slow car back there getting the blue flag. Get out of the way. Unfortunately, Boogie dropping all the way back down to P9. So it looks like Boogie was the worst off from that start. Jay Sims doing the right thing, letting those drivers through as he was getting the blue flag. But that puts him all the way at the back of the field. So now he is properly a lap down. We're going to go back up to the front. Sasuke getting through the Parabolica. Thankfully not having an incident similar to qualifying. Gets the grip, rips it through. Mitch getting the fastest lap. 1:19.934. 5 laps left to go here at Monza. Half a second back from Sasuke to Mitch. So at this point, if Sasuke does have an issue, all he needs to do is stay within 6 seconds of Mitch and 3 seconds of F4, and he will still be on the podium. I think that was Ethan that got another penalty there. Let's take a look at what the total penalties are. Icy retired from the session, so Icy's out. Oh, Jay Sims is part of that too. Virtual safety car is going to neutralize the field, but looks like Icy and Jay Sims got into it there just before turn 4. Wasn't even in the chicane. It's much further back. Ethan with 13 seconds of penalties gets out of the way of Boogie there. Not sure what happened. Does have wing damage. Let's take a look at what's deemed. Yep, left front. Wing end plate is gone. DRS is re-enabled. We're back to racing. So Sasuke still on front. 3/10 back to Mitch. Four laps left to go. Half a second now from leaders to P2. Looks like in the chat, Icy calling out Jay Sims for the incident. We'll see if there's a ticket that's submitted once the stewarding office opens in about an hour time. Mitch getting right on the back of Sasuke, less than 2/10. Sasuke defending as best he can. Remember, Mitch does have, I believe it's 6 seconds of penalties. But Sasuke is going to want to win this on merit out in front. F4 picks up another 3 seconds. So now P2 and P3 sitting on 6 seconds each. Sasuke losing out there to Mitch on the DRS. Now just needs to keep it within 6 seconds with a few laps left to go. So Lone Fiber will inherit P3 from F4 if he stays within 6 seconds of Lone Fiber. Yeah, Fiber is clean. He doesn't have any penalties. So he needs to stay within 6 seconds of F4, and he will inherit the podium, which he currently will be doing. Sasuke staying right on the gearbox here of Mitch, not letting him go. Heading down turn 4, Sasuke staying right behind. Lone Fiber closing in on F4, 2.5 seconds back. Oh, wow, he's going to be battling Vanilla pretty soon. Let's see, does Vanilla have penalties? So Vanilla does have 3 seconds, so he needs to get past Fiber and build a 3-second gap, which I'm not sure he'll be able to do. He seems spaced out pretty good. Vanilla, less than a second to Lone Fiber. There goes your leaders, just the bottom of the screen as they go through Parabolica. Sasuke about a half a second back, but still within DRS. You'll see that rear wing open up. 2 laps left to go. See if Sasuke makes a move or if Mitch defends. Mitch sticking to the racing line. Sasuke thinking about it, sticks in behind as they exit out through turn number 2. Lone Fiber closing in. 1.3 back to F4. Right now, Lone Fiber is hoping not to battle Vanilla too much. He could let Vanilla go, just stay within 3 seconds and re-inherit the position back and work together to catch F4. But as it stands right now, Lone Fiber is going to be getting that podium finish for the Sauber team. That's a great finish. Channeling the Nico Hulkenberg there to get that P3. We got further back. You got Boogie chasing down Flob. Nothing happening there. So let's go check out our leaders again. Sasuke closing in, making the move to the inside, gets ahead As we head down to turn 1, Mitch thinking about making a move on the inside. Heavy braking through 1, through 2, and we're back to the races. So right now, Mitch and F4 are going to be racing straight up. For the rest of the race, Sasuke initially taking the elbows out, middle of the track, but basically he's just putting the hammer down now, trying to build a gap to Mitch. At this point, he's in the clear. Sasuke out in front. Lone Fiber right on the gearbox of F4. We're going to switch to that to just watch as it unfolds. See if he makes a move. Ooh, F4 going defensive. Lone Fiber up to P3. No longer worrying about that 3-second penalty. So Vanilla's going to inherit P4 as well. Let's head back up to the front. Sasuke around the final corner. Weaving like a madman across the line. P1, Mitch, P2. Lone Fiber coming in. Cross line, P3. Vanilla, P4. F4, P5. Due to penalties. Then we got Flob and Boogie coming through. Boogie inherits P6. Flob down to P7. And our last surviving car out on track, Ethan, coming through the final chicane. Oh, Lone Fiber inherited from Mitch as well. I didn't think they were. I wasn't paying close enough attention. I apologize to Lone Fiber. Inheriting P2 from Mitch as well. So Ethan coming around the final corner. Cross the line. In P8, but your winner, Sasuke, out in front. Here he comes out onto the podium. Simply lovely from Lone Fiber, picking up P2. Even with it inheriting positions due to penalties, Lone Fiber deserved that podium straight up. Keeping it super clean as the Tifosi yells, cheers on the McLaren, the Sauber, and the Aston Martin. So there we go. Let's just screenshot of that real quick. So your fastest lap is Mitch. Driver today, Flob. Well-deserved most overtakes. Race winner, Sasuke. Extending his lead in the championship. Let's take a look at here at our scoreboard. Take a picture of that real quick before it goes away. So, Sasuke, Lone Fiber, Mitch, Vanilla, F4, Boogie, Flob, and Ethan. Your final runners for tonight. So let's head back to our lobby. Take a look real quick at our calendar. So that was round 7 at Italy. Next week, on September 7th, we are at Suzuka. No special instructions for our drivers, but that is a classic figure 8 track. We look forward to seeing everyone there. Again, this is Prowler Racing League, season number 6, round 7 at Italy. Your winners, Sasuke, and we will see you guys next week in Japan.